Hello, hello from my art studio. Today I am going to be painting on this. You can tell it's supposed to be kind of sort of me, kind of sort of just brunette in the water. It's from a photo of me in the pond. So let me show you what the photo roughly looks like. Right now it is up and down. It would not be up and down. I guess I could turn it around, but that's okay. Let me turn that around actually. So I have this reference photo. And there we go. Okay, I'll show you one more time. There you go. So there's a reference photo. It's blurry, and I am going to be working on it since so far I have done this much. And I want the waves just to feel more wave-like, more watery. So I have to get that ready. Let's get my image where I want it. I have the palette over here. Setting this all up. For this, I'm going to be using some soft brushes. This is super, super soft. Some harder ones so that it leaves, like some can be like slow and nice and like soft, and others will be like these firm bits. So I'm just getting it so you can all see that and me. I think so. Someday I will set this up before I go online, but not yet. So yeah, there's the painting. There's this. This is my palette. It's kind of messy, you can tell. So I have a couple reds, cool, warm. I have a yellow. I have two little greens, and I have two different blues. This is phthalo blue, and this is ultramarine blue, and some titanium white. So I'm using that. I have some gamsol I'm using to kind of make things glow a little better. Let's just put that down there. Okay. And I figured since I am painting waves, I would be wearing, some sort of wavy something. So this is what I would go swimming in, maybe not the top. So I might as well right now. So let's get started. I started this the other day, and I wanted it to sit so that it had some basic underlaying bits, and then I can add the strokes on top so it looks more watery. So it's a little glittery. Mixing up more greens, more dark greens. Okay. Well, thank you, and hello, hello. Okay, let's get this started. What I need are some more greens going on in here. The water is reflecting the plants that were there. Sometimes adding different layers really helps to bring out the complexities of the water. This would actually be better if all right, move it here. Lower it. Hey! So I'm just, the other day, it got I kind of lost the greens the other day. So I'm putting back in the greens. These are the ripples. When I was laying in the water, I kind of had ripples going. You can tell already it's getting a little bit more defined. Every time I go online, I swear the light, it's not so ideal to see it for me. And I'm using my fingers a little bit, but some people say don't get the oil paint on you. To worry a little bit. Should be okay. Change the angle a little bit, see if you can see it still. Can you see it? Yeah, you can still see it. Okay, we can both see this much better. So I'm making a lot of this pretty wet, so it kind of glides around. You know, water is not stagnant, it just kind of swirls. And it's a balance of, I'm using some reds, actually there's like these reds that are getting mixed in these blues. The water is pond water and it's reflecting on things. And it is definitely not just blue. So that to be reflected in this painting. So it's kind of reflecting the clouds above. It had gotten overcast. And I keep dipping it in so that we get different colors because it's not just one color. It's all sorts of, it ripples around, it reflects and cracks different things. So we need to get those colors going on in there. Amounts. You can tell that I do something dark and then I do something light. It kind of goes back and forth to give and take as it ripples around. Just kind of feeling it out, feeling out what feels right. Some light spots over there. Let's see. It's funny, as I paint, these little tassels are just kind of rubbing on my legs. It's very interesting. I don't have AC up here. So without AC, I actually normally do paint either in not very much. I'm either painting in this or nothing. Don't even try to wear lots of clothes, but right now it is summertime and it's super hot in this room. So in order to paint, I cannot wear that much stuff. Hence this. And just moving around, getting different cues. And you'll notice I keep using the same paintbrush and I'll dip it back in and it kind of blurs together the colors. So there's a nice mixture. Let me see if anything saying. Favorite thing to paint? I like painting people and scenes, so that's what I'm doing here. I wish I had more painting and like more photos of other people, but right now we're on virus time and there's nobody else here. This goop keeps showing up behind me. There's some goop. Use this with my cleaning with paintbrushes. It does not need to be behind my bottom. Okay, much better. Let's see. So right now, you'll be able to tell there's kind of these mixture piles that I keep working out of to mix around. And water kind of goes, so I'm gonna put it like this for a minute so you can really see what's going on. Trick is figuring out how I can get it so I can see what's going on too. Yeah, this doesn't work great because I can't see when I'm blocking the light over there. Failed experiment. I'm gonna go back over here. Stay over here. Okay, I figured I would try that out. Where were we? We were out there, and the light just totally changed. There we go. Excellent. Much better. Okay. Let's get a little bit more there. And the trick with skin and water is that the water will kind of pull the color of the skin and will kind of enter the color. So you'll have a little watery color on the skin and a little skin color on the water. Just kind of a push and pull to make it look realistic. A little bit too much. So I keep mixing with the same paintbrushes, just kind of getting the colors as it goes. A little bit more of this. Foot spot looks. So I'm going to use the smoother one. This is a much softer brush. Used it earlier. You can probably tell it's definitely much softer. I'll use that right now. And that will give a different look. And I pull things with differently. A little harder to mix with paintbrush when it's this one. Okay. Yeah, it feels very nice up here. Temperature today is very happy. Ooh. Mixing with water. It's a lot going on with water. I'm gonna lighten it up. So you might think that the highlights are just white, but they sure are not. In nature, mostly highlights are not going to be white. They're going to be light. Maybe there'll be permeations of white. Maybe they'll seem white compared to something else, but they'll all have a little bit of color. This is a titanium white, and you will not see this exact color on this painting at all. You will see different colors. Sometimes I like to get my paintbrush extra wet, so if I get it extra wet, it kind of like drifts and moves around. Sometimes that works well. Certain contexts, it's not the greatest idea. The water is not exact. You can tell I'm just kind of, some of it, there's a little bit of moving around going on. And I move around a lot while doing this. And just keep getting my paintbrush going and keep your hips moving around because you don't want to just stay in one spot. Make you very stiff. So, mixing around. Right here. Just kind of getting the swirl going on. So let's see. Put a little more detail on her hair. So I'm going to tap. So I'm making a brown right now. Making a few browns. I need to get a new paintbrush. Mm-hmm. So for the hair, I'm going to get a little of this dark going on. Okay. See. A little bit. So there's a little reflection going on right here that I'm building in. A little reflection, we put some of that lighter there. See. This paintbrush has just darks on it, so it's not getting all mixed together. So it kind of looks, you can see kind of how the water is coming forward and looking a little more real when I first started. I thought it looked kind of cool, but missing depth. The ripples kind of go in different ways. So when I was in the water, I was going like this, like, which is why it makes these like ripples that go around like that. So that's these ripples right there. And this paintbrush is a lot stiffer, allows me to leave the brush strokes a little bit differently defined than others. So very different experience. Yeah. Kind of doing that, the highlights are on the top. I'll just kind of go every which way. That's looking good. So I keep dipping in here because this is where my paint thinner is, and so it makes it a little bit thinner. It goes on a little different. And it definitely helps. Getting the correct color definitely helps. There's an element of it just kind of being impromptu. I'm just kind of more or less. I mean, I know what I want to do, so it's like an organized feeling impromptu. If that makes any sense at all. See what it looks like over here. The light will look very different. I'm going to turn around for a few so that the light looks different for me. Even for you, you can tell, you can see the ripples a little bit better. So we're going to try this. My only problem is my reference photo is actually behind me now, so I will have to flip around. I'll flip around this way. So yeah. And I don't need this to look just like my reference photo. This needs to look like water. a suggestion of kind of reflective plants in front as there were. We'll turn around to the Zoom. I'm just picking up different colors that I think are right. So you can tell the water is starting to come about. It is definitely looking like water with more waves. Let me show you the reference photo again. The reference photo has these really deep waves right there and over there, and it's a lot softer over there. So that's what the valley is looking like. This is over there. What this is looking like. And definitely needs work. Let me see if I can get that to work. Definitely better if you can see it. Lovely. I'm mixing up colors. Okay. So I'm introducing back in some of the warmth of the water. I'm gonna lost a few of them. And it's getting a little bit disappeared, so I need to bring that hand back in a moment. And I'm in an angle that I cannot see what I'm doing. All the things. So for those of you who are not going to watch this whole thing, you might want to see the beginning and then fast forward to the end, and then you can check out and see that this actually has changed a lot during this course. It's been about half an hour, and it does not look the same as it did before. The idea is to bring about more watery looks to this thing. Give it the complexity of real water. Okay, I'm going to wipe off this paint brush a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit different A little bit of skin color back. I'm putting a little bit of the flesh back. And this is just for wiping paintbrushes. Maybe a little bit too yellow. Yeah. Getting back a little bit at the hand. I'll wipe that off. It's getting a little bit too blue. Hello. The painting is a lot of figuring out what colors to put everywhere. Every brush stroke can influence another. Oof, it's getting hot in here. Let's see. So I'm adding in big, bold, light bits. Not too light, just the way water would be. What I like is that she is wearing a dress, but you can't really tell if she's wearing water or a dress or whatnot. So I'm going to bring it out a little bit more, but I still do like that it is mainly just looking kind of watery. So what you sometimes can do when you're painting is, let me get this to go. Sometimes you can kind of smear things together with a paper towel. So I got here the paper towel. And there's painting right here. Pretty close. I think you can see there. And I'm just gonna smear it a little. So you'll probably go back through and add back in some of this. It's the ultimate way just to move it around. So this paper towel. Okay, so nobody would probably tell you to do this in school if you're classically trained, but I think it works well. I've also painted with bubble wrap, so it does actually do something. Ooh, there's a bird outside. Okay, so let's see what else it needs. A little bit more. Lovely blue. So the focus of this painting is actually kind of right around here. Right where it turns a different, more purpley over here. Over here. This is okay. Almost going to get off of the internet and make dinner and get out of this hot room. It is super duper hot in this room. And this is actually going to sit and dry for a few days. And then I can add more to it. It's kind of, sometimes it's easier to add mixes of colors when it has time to dry. That way you can put it on in a different texture. I'll show you what I mean in a moment. You can see how with water you can kind of keep just adding and building and bringing out these ripples. So in a way, you have to decide when you're going to stop and walk away. I need to do very soon. Taking the paper towel method again. Not an official way, but you can. I'm now taking a paper towel, putting it on the palette, going like this, and kind of spreading it on. Just to add a little bit of crazy texture. Okay. I think that is about all of this that I need to do right now. All right. See, walking away is so difficult. So we are going to leave this like this for now. Let me show you what this looks like. Okay. So for now, it looks like this. It was greatly improved since the beginning. It has its water ripples. You can kind of see going on the skirt, the feet, and yeah. So this was, I spent the last 40 minutes adding a little bit going on this. And this looks kind of cool that way too. So you can also tilt it around when you work on it. So this is what I've done for this time. And I'm going to show you one thing you can do when you're working with towels. No, I'm going to show that to you next time. So I'm going to make another video where I show what you can do with bubble wrap and paper towels and whatnot when you're working on things. So thanks for joining me, and yeah, I hope you learned something about painting. And this is what is so hard. It's so hard to walk away from a painting because now I saw something else I want to do on it. And you can just keep working on it and working on it and working on it. So I'm going to take it away for now. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. So thanks for watching and fun now. Okay. See ya.